Hello and welcome to the NUFC 360 post-match reaction for the Palace game. Joining me is Ben and Jack. How are we, lads?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How are you?
All right. Considering.
Yeah. Drained like a bloody balloon. Like flopped
emotionally destroyed. Yeah, again. Twice in a week.
Why did we choose to be Newcastle fans though?
Well,
better than last season, but it's twice in the week to get dicked by a referee or bitten by VAR again. I just want to stop talking about it. But
I know.
I'm gonna find this next 20 minutes very therapeutic. I think just get it all out.
So what are your general feelings, actually, just so you can vomit it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, general feelings?
Yeah. So look, it's disappointment. We got the draw, 0-0 draw. I feel like we played well enough to win. I think Pope made one very good save from Mateta. Made one I would have expected him to make from I think Mateta again in the first half. But apart from that, Palace had absolutely nothing. And for a team who've looked really good this season against Liverpool, they've been strong. They're a good side, and we had total control of the game. Thought Botman and Cher were really strong at the back. It's just such a shame that goal got disallowed. It's either Willock's going to score because it's a perfect header across from Botman. He's there. He's either going to score. The push knocks him out the way, then into Guaita. So that's a foul apparently. It's either a penalty. Willock scores, or it's a goal off Mitchell. I don't know how the referee, who by the way I had no idea who he was, never seen him before in my life, so I don't know where they're getting it. I don't know where they're getting these from anymore. He goes over, looks at VR at the screen. How can he look at that and you see that his arm pushing him? I don't know how he's come to that conclusion. It's a shame, but I thought we played well enough. It's just a shame that we didn't get the win.
Yeah, I agree. It's exactly the same. I put in the group chat after about 10 minutes, I think it was, that the referees just nowhere near the standard. He put Longstaff and gave him gave Longstaff a yellow card for a nothing tackle in the first 10 minutes? Not again. We've had a lot of these refs already, and unfortunately, I was absolutely accurate. It was terrible the whole way through. The decision for us was laughable, and it's not just him. Like, he gave his decision based on the snippet that they showed him in VR, which is an absolute outrage. How they didn't show the push and just showed the bit, like the reflection of the push, like the result of it is absolutely unforgivable. I don't know. They know the people who operate that VAR should not be operating it ever again. That is terrible. Either that, or they need to come out and say they're going to go into training or something, because to not show how a push comes about and just the result, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I said from, I think 10 minutes in, the ref was out of his depth, completely didn't have the game for both sides as well. I thought he was terrible. He gave some really easy decisions to us, which were should never have gone our way. He was just completely pathetic.
Yeah, but you mentioned that. Sorry.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. It's either a penalty or a goal. You decide which one you want it to be, but it's a foul on Willock. The result of it is an own goal. Okay, cool. But you want to bring it back to the foul, do it. But it's a penalty. It's just, I cannot get my head around how he's made that, or how VAR have let him do that. It just makes no sense. And as I just said, it's messing up every team, and it's making it really hard and annoying to watch any football. Not even just Newcastle. It's everyone. Something has to be done about it. It's ruining it. It's for me. Every game, there's a decision that, to be honest, I was thinking about this just before we came on. Was it better when we didn't have VAR? Yeah, there were some decisions that go against, but I feel like we're getting more that are just more frustrating because you can't do anything about it. They either need to do what they do in is it rugby and cricket, where you get a court, you get each team gets a decision where they can kind of go against it, or they can appeal it. That's the word. Something like that, because if you have an independent couple of people that look at it on an appeal, there's no way that is not given. And just not having any way to be able to challenge it, or not having any understanding of what they're saying. Why is it quiet? Why is it privatized? Why can't we listen to how they come to that decision? Because we don't get anything. And as a fan, this sport is for fans. How is it every club, every team is saying the same thing and they don't do anything about it? But anyway, I'm getting aside from the Newcastle point here. Sorry.
We've already gone to refereeing standards. So I mean, this is 3 matches in a row where we've been on the end of some kind of nonsense decisions. What's going on, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it genuinely is the standards, because in the Bundesliga they have VAR. It's absolutely fine. You never hear anything about that. In Serie A they have VAR. It's absolutely fine. You never hear anything about that. It's literally just the standard of officiating, and scarily enough, it gets worse and worse as you go down the ladder. Like EFL clubs are on the end of some horrific decisions all the time. And as I said, obviously our goal should have stood, but there were so many things even today like that. I thought that Zaha was fouled a few times, and he was blatantly fouled, and we just were allowed to play on. And it was after the goal had been disallowed, because he obviously realised, oh, well, I need to give them something because of...
There was one where Miggy absolutely wiped him out, started a counter-attack, and if we'd scored from that, it would have gone back for a foul on Zaha, because it was a clear foul, and he hacked him, and he didn't give anything. It's like, I mean, great for us, but it was just bad.
You just want to see the right decisions, don't you? Like, the Premier League is the best league in the world. Like, this season, the mid-table teams are really, really strong. I think Palace are strong, Wolves are strong, Way are strong, West Ham are strong. They've invested so much money. All these brilliant players have come in to play in the Premier League, and then we get this standard of referee. And if we need to bring in referees from abroad or something like that, I don't know. But the Premier League is getting better and better each year in terms of players, but it seems like the officials are getting worse.
I think that's a good point. Yeah,
Luigi Collina, somebody like that, you know. God.
Yeah. Get him back.
In terms of the actual match, I thought, as Jack said, I thought we were great. I thought we did really well. I thought we bossed what is... Everyone's been praising Palace for being a good team this season, and I thought we absolutely smashed them with, 3-4 players, first team starters out. You know, you put Maxi, Wilson, Bruno, and Shelby in that team, and we absolutely smashed them. I think we should have. I mean, we did score. We could have scored a few more. They hit the post twice, I think. Great performance. Really, bitter pill to swallow to not come away with a win. I thought Isak should probably have scored, but, you know, he had a lot of time to think about it. But, you know, aside from that, you've got to be happy with the performance, I think, is they battered him again.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
What do we think about the finishing and the lack of finishing and all the good goalkeeping?
Yeah, so I think with the Isak one, he's just brilliantly to close the ball down. You know, he's created the chance out of absolutely nothing. You know, Anderson's got ages on the ball. He thinks he's just going to ping it out to, I think it would have been Ward, bombing forward from right back. He just thinks he's going to pick, but Isak makes the effort, gets there, and I think I agree with Ben. He just had too much time to think about it, and his last touch before the chip wasn't perfect. If he pushed it at either side, he's probably got the chance to open up the corner, but he went down the middle. So then he was like, well, I'm probably just going to have to chip it now. And, you know, it was a shame. And apart from that, he didn't really get in the game much, but then he nearly got an assist for Willock with a beautiful ball. He span on the ball, flicked it through to Willock, and it was a great save from Guaid. Ultimately, I think there was some poor finishing, but I also think the goalkeeper made some great saves. He did that one from the corner. And then obviously the scramble somehow didn't go in. The one from Willock, and there were some brilliant blocks in there. Anderson and Gurhey were excellent at the back for Palace. There was a one from Murphy that looked like destined for the top corner, and somehow Gurhey got in the way of it. So
yeah,
you know.
As you were saying about the corners, like how one of them didn't go in. It felt like we got so close so many times, and it's either a deflection or like somebody tips around the corner or hits the post, or the follow-up that hits the post. Or I don't remember a time where I do at Forest, but it's not that often we have a decent mid-table team. We dominate them the way we did. I think they had a few spells, and Pope, as you said before, made a good save from, was it Edwards or was it Mateta? One in the first half that was quite close to him, and one in the second half, which was he saved with his chin. That's all I can remember them doing. They have some good build-up play, Palace, but they didn't really threaten much apart from those two. And then we had, 17, 18 corners, hit the post a couple of times, a perfectly good goal ruled out. Like, we should have been far and away. But, fair play there. Yeah, you're right. Their defense was good in terms of blocking, really good. I thought the keeper had a good game. Pope played pretty well, but we should have been winning that. And I think a few people saying it with Wilson on the pitch, we might. I think with Maxi on the pitch, we do. Because Fraser gave, was it Ward, their right back? He gave him a tough time, especially in the first half. I think Maxi destroys them. And I think he opens up so much more space in the middle. And Bruno as well with him in the through balls. And The one thing I was surprised about was them taking Almiron off on 70 minutes. I thought he'd be fantastic. I thought he'd be probably the man of the match for me.
Totally agree.
So a little bit surprised that they took him off, but I thought Murphy offered nothing really when he came on, apart from that one shot that got deflected. But yeah, a few strange decisions there. But I mean, Howe knows what he's doing. He knows that the workload that goes into him and how much they should be running. But to me, Murphy's just he's barely a championship player for me.
What are we going to do? Transfer window's closed. The squad is what it is right now. What can we do? I mean, he's going to get. Wilson's going to get injured again at some point, probably. Bruno, likewise, maybe. People are going to target him in matches. So we're going to face situations where we are missing these guys again and again and again. So what are we going to do for the long term?
I mean, for me, I thought we mixed it up really well. Like, we were playing the ball in behind for Miggy, we were playing the ball in behind for Fraser, but then other times we were playing it through Joe Linton, and then when Anderson came on, we were playing it through Anderson. We weren't struggling to break them down. It wasn't like we just had loads of possession. We didn't create anything. So, we were playing well. We played well. Trippier from the back, Botman was spraying the ball over We've got so many build-up options now in the team. I love Target, how just sometimes if he's under pressure, he just dinks it down the line, and it's always a good ball in behind that gets us in behind their defence rather than just trying to play it inside. You don't have to do that all the time. For me, even with those players missing, like obviously with Bruno, Maxi, they are going to be missing at some points, but we played well enough to win. I don't think there's much to change, to be honest. I think we played exactly how we should play against a team like that, mid-table team, who were dangerous on the counter-attack. And I genuinely don't think we're just lacking a few, some good saves. The only poor finish was Willock's one from the corner where he skewed it wide from about 4 yards out, because I thought that was going to be a goal. But that's, for me, I don't think you change a lot, to be honest. I think you play it like that, and we'll beat teams. We'll smash a team at some point if we play like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I think someone at some point is going to get an absolute battering. We've been. Yeah, to the initial point, I don't think you change it. I agree with Jack. I think we're playing well. We're opening teams up. It's just not going in. I think it's a rare mixture of having terrible refereeing decisions, which always seem to come with Newcastle in blocks. There seems to be 5 or 6 weeks in a row that we'll get horrific decisions, and then it'll sort of even out a little bit. But we're just combining that with a lot of injuries. So we're actually playing really, really well. We're just not getting the ball in the net, but we're getting these terrible. I mean, when we do, it's getting ruled out. So I don't think there's anything wrong. I think the form, some of the rhetoric on TV just now was saying, they haven't won since the opening game of the season. It's like, first of all, come on, that was like 2 weeks ago. Like, calm down. And we've only lost one. So like, they turn it how they wanted to turn it to make a bit of like drama out of it. Whereas I think if you look at the results, unlucky not to beat City. Should have had a penalty in that as well, which would have made it 3-1, 4-1 or something. Should have beaten Wolves. Anderson at the last minute should have had a penalty as well. A goal ruled out against Brighton. All right, Brighton were the better team, but we still came away with the point. We really, every game we've been close to winning, or we probably should have, apart from maybe Brighton, who were probably better than us actually. But I don't think you change anything. The team's playing well, and it will click. And when it does, and Bruno's back, and Maxi's back, and Wilson's back, somebody is going to get absolutely pumped, and I cannot wait. It's going to be great.
I think
we need to bring in a Buddhist monk to change the luck a bit or something like that. Like what Leicester did or something like that. Put water around the dressing room or around the ground.
It's going to happen. What's the next game? West Ham away, is it? Maybe not for that one, but I'm hoping we'll have Bruno back by then. I think they said that Maxi was close today as well. They could have played, but there's no point in risking him. I don't think they needed to either. I think that Fraser actually had quite a decent game. Dropped off in the second half a bit, but first half he was really lively.
He was.
But I think they're going to smash someone. Like, you can't keep having that sort of look, both with injuries and with referees. And I'm really happy with how we're doing defensively. I thought Palace, as Jack alluded to, a really tricky team on the counter. They have some great playing in the middle section of the pitch, getting towards the final third. If they had a prolific striker, I mean, I think Edouard's a good player, but he doesn't get enough goals. Mateta pretty similar. If they had a great striker, then I think they'd be probably top 18. But I think to go against them with the injuries that we have and create as many chances as we did, there's nothing to change it, in my opinion. I think defensively really sound, and we will beat teams with that lineup.
Another clean sheet.
Another clean sheet.
Yeah. hard to beat. It's if we're not scoring goals, we've at least got to be hard to beat, and we definitely are.
Yeah.
Any key standout players for you guys today?
Yeah. So I think Willock's getting better and better. He's going to score soon. He was unlucky that he didn't score today. But the way he works in that midfield, I think he does a lot of work that's unnoticed. Wins so many balls in that area, and always driving forward the ball. It's the Willock that I think got initially on loan. He's had a pre-season under Howe, and I'm really excited. I think he's definitely going to have a good season. I know it hasn't fell for him yet, but it's going to happen. And then Anderson. I mean, yeah, he looks very special.
What did you guys think about Elliot Anderson when he came on?
Yeah, as Jack said, I think he's really special. Like first couple of touches, it was like, come on, lads, we know you're better than that. And then he did one little turn. He put was it Decore or something? I can't remember. Yeah, it put him on his ass, and it was like from that second you could see it gave him confidence, and he was brilliant. Like what a little, like it was 15-minute cameo or something like that, but. Yeah, I thought he created a lot. His touch, his little turns, really impressive. We haven't got anyone quite like that. And to me, he looks like he's bulking up a little bit. He's stockier than he was. And I think that's really important. Was when he came back from Bristol, the start of pre-season, he looked a little light still, but I think they put a lot of work into him, and he's starting to look a bit more like kind of mature and a bit more like a man now. I think if he can keep doing that and he can get more minutes, then I think he's going to be good. He's definitely got something to offer the team this season. I think he was unlucky last week against Wolves to not get the winner too.
Mm-hmm. Does he need to be brought on for a lot longer? Is his game plan a little bit too short, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that 20 minutes was a fair enough time to give him. To be honest, today I think that midfield three was working really well. I thought Sean Longstaff had a good game in the sitting role. So I didn't see any need to change the midfield. Fraser, as Ben said, was definitely very tired by the end because he put it all in against Liverpool. He didn't have much of pre-season, did Fraser either. He was injured for quite a bit of it, so you could tell he was just knackered. So I'm pleased that Anderson came on and he made it a difference. I think one thing the good about Anderson, he seems like he can play anywhere. He can play him on the right, put him on the left, put him in centre midfield, he can play him behind the striker. So he's gonna have a big role to play this season, I think. I'd like to see him for a bit more, but I feel like that was the right substitution at the time, and there was no reason to change the midfield. There was a point where it looked like he was going to come on earlier because Willock looked like he was not going to be able to carry on. Willock then carried on, so I think it's just going to be about that. But he's a good option to have off the bench because I don't think a lot of teams know what to expect from him. Some of the turns he did. There was one when he was down in the corner and he somehow flicked it over the top of the Palace defender, and then got to the byline, played it into Joe Linton, and then we nearly scored. So he looks very, very good, and I'm excited to see more.
Those two linked up really well. I thought I like him in that inside kind of left forward position. I think that's what he did for a lot of his good work for Bristol last season. I remember scoring quite a few goals cutting in from the left. And in pre-season, they played him more as like a central midfielder, a bit more of an attacking central midfielder. But I like him out there on the left. He's got a quick feet. He seems like he's got a good eye for goal from what I saw at Bristol, which I didn't see that much of it, but I saw his goals and he looked like he's got a good finish on him. But really exciting. I haven't been that excited about a youth player from Newcastle for a while. Someone who can actually make a difference. We've got Longstaff who's coming in. He's steady, not great, but he's steady. But this lad looks like he could actually be pretty decent. And actually, a bit of a step ahead of that. So yeah, really positive, I guess.
Yeah, and so before we finish, we've got West Ham away coming up next. Quick predictions, guys.
2-1 win.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it'll be a draw. We're in this drawing mode at the minute, and West Ham are a decent team. I think they've got good players. It'll be interesting to see Paqueta and Bruno on the same field. That'll be fun. But if you can go away to West Ham and get a draw, considering that what they're like, probably top 6, top 7 team as of last season or two, I think that's a good result for us. I love it if we go and win. It depends on who's back in the team as well. But I think we could sneak something, but I think a draw would be a decent result.
Yeah. All right, that's it for tonight. And join us for the pre-match, which will be in the coming week. And wherever you are in the world, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.